Setting up, and welcome, welcome. Now recording for the great leap forward in this class, putting words and pictures together. I'm going to actually do an example today. For your assignment this week, I have a simpler version. We have four pictures, again, the four pictures, wide, medium, close, and a short story. And your job is to put them together in a page. Now, what I have here, let's see, am I sharing the screen yet? Okay. There I go. Okay. We have for you 4 pictures and a story. You don't have to use them all. 8 by 10, and please save the your file as a PDF. That stands for a portable document file that anything can read. It's essentially a picture file. So many people with pictures and other things have so many different documents, and Lord knows, when you're doing sound, there's so many different ways to do it. Best way to have somebody see a picture, a finished layout, is as a PDF file. The bad news is it's hard to change it once you save it, because it's no longer words and pictures, it's one big picture. Anyway, so that's what you have, and I will show you how to do it today. I have picked out, like from before, pictures of Joe D'Alessandro, the carnivorous plant man. I don't know why this turns up. And I'll do a layout with him. Now, pretty much the first thing to do is get all your stuff together. I have it here in a folder. And here's our pictures. Here's a close-up. Here's a wide shot. Here is a nice posed picture. I have two versions. Here's his little gremlins that he makes. Here is another wide shot. I have too many of these. A lot of people would take this as your lead picture. Here is the super close. This is what he sells. Venus flytraps. Here is another close-up of his hands and a medium. The first thing to look at is what is going to be your dominant picture. What is the first that the guy sells? Here's the story. The guy sells carnivorous plants. What is your strongest picture? Again, we have medium, wide. Most people would choose this. It's not a bad picture, but it's posed, it's kind of eh. One thing I'll do though is crop it at least to here, because we don't need to see that guy's butt. So if we use that one at all, this version. What is our dominant picture? It's far away, not that much. That's what he sells. Hands. What do you guys think? What is our
I like the one that you're on, because it shows what he's doing, and it also has a human aspect where there's other people
Absolutely.
looking at him, and I like the child in the picture as well, being interested.
And there's the plants, and a picture like this needs to be big because there's a lot of stuff going around. If you made this tiny, you wouldn't see it. So I'm going to make that as our dominant picture. Okay, dominant picture, I have a short story. That's where we'll start. Okay, so new document. Okay, it always defaults to this in inches, 8.5 by 11. It defaults to 5 columns. 5 columns gives me a lot to work with, and you'll see that shortly, so I'll keep with that. Here is the page. View, grids and guides, show baseline grid. See, now I have things to, line up the pictures. Okay, so this is the picture box. And I will draw the picture box to line up with my columns, like that. File, place. Open. Okay. Where's the one that we liked? I think this is it. Yep. Now, you notice the actual picture is bigger than the space on the page. I saved it as probably an 8 by 10. Here's a little cheaty thing that you could do 2 things at this point. You go to Photoshop and make it the size of this box, which around here is 5 inches by 3 inches. Or we could do object and fit. Fit content to frame. It's kind of cheating. And you notice in this particular program, if the picture shape is not the same as if the picture shape is not the same proportion as the as your picture box, it squashes the picture. It needs to be the same proportion. Object, fit content to frame. Whoop, see how that squashed it? We'll make the frame bigger. And it's fitting fine. Okay. Let's see one more time here. Yeah, pull it down. Fit, object, fit content to frame.
Use the fit proportionally. Try that one.
Right. Okay. But anyway, it's there. Now, I have a story. And we use the text box. Again, use your columns and your grids to line things up And here is the arrow. And again, any program to do that. Here is the file place and the text box. Here is the story. There it is. Ta-da. If there's a little red box there, that means there's a little bit more type. That's the N. Okay. Close enough. Anyway, then object, window, I'm looking for making this columns. It's been a while since I've done this. Turning the box into columns. There is a box around here somewhere. Highlight it. Ah, here it is, up here. Ta-da, 3 columns. I could make it 2 columns. And here's the end of the story. And I can move the story around. So we have our major elements. And then I could read room for a headline. Now, you know what? On second thought, this picture still looks a little small to me. Again, let us make it a 6 column. File. I'm wondering, am I making another box here? Nope. Content. Too often in this program, you're making many different boxes. Fit. Yeah, there it goes. So much of what you do in layout is tweaking. Object. Fit. There it goes. This is the way it should work. Because we don't want to squash it. We want to make it proportional. There we go. Maybe even a little further down. So much of what you do in layout and design is tweaking. There it goes. There we go. That's a big picture. It's a magazine thing. Now we have room for a caption. I can write in later. And again, use your columns to line up. Come on, grab that sucker. To line things up vertically. And your grids to establish spaces. Okay, one grid from the picture. There's that. And Okay. What do we have? So we have really a couple of different spaces here. I'm thinking, let's see, go back to this, make it, no. Yeah, that makes it a little smaller, gives me a little bit more space. And you don't have to use the whole story. This is what happens in the real world. You cut off, maybe cut off a few words, and then you go back to the copy desk and have them fix that. Okay, so that leaves room for one more picture, maybe two more pictures, maybe three more pictures. Let's go back and look at our pictures. We now need a picture over here. This would fit in that space. What would be the next picture? This would fit in that space. On the other hand, we can make this, because we can crop this picture a little bit. I like having this picture in there. So I'm going to make it a little bit more vertical. Tools, tool, crop. There we go. And then go back to our page. That's a nice spot for it. File place. By the way, I did this in the class last semester, and it came out differently. Okay, file, fit. Okay, and see how this picture kind of lines up pretty well with the story? We have room then for a caption. And we have the whole package. Because this really needs to be there, because that's really what the story is about. And then I could write one headline across all of this. And then what else do we have? We'll go back to it. What do we have that's also, a directional horizontal for the space down below. And we can crop this a little bit more horizontal. Because the point is the plants. Okay, so much of this is just learning how to see it. And we have this page here. Can't really stretch this any further than that. crop, crop, crop. Place, file, place. Yeah, see, that's a little squashed. So what we can do, and it's really very directional. So what I can do is, we have room here. I don't know why it's, there, that's why. It's making new boxes, edit. There, it moves it. We have room to push this up a little. I don't know where it went. Do that again. File, place. Fit. Okay. So what we can do then is couple of things we can do. I don't love having these two pictures together. We can cut the story a little bit more, which is probably what I will do. This is what happens in real life. You can cut the story a little bit more. We have that. How about seeing just how the spaces work out? We move the story over here. Make the story 2 columns. Yeah, we can do it like that. Make this story 2 columns. Gives us some room for a headline. We can make these pictures bigger. Because this is a picture page, and that's kind of the point. We can do that. We can, I kind of like, of course, you hear me thinking out loud here. And now we have room for yeah. This picture should really be 3 columns. And it's just kind of small. But this is what the process is like. And you have to leave room for a headline. Okay, and one other thing I saw was that we have a decent headshot of him. This can fit as a nice 1 column. I think I already have a version of it cropped to 1 column. We can even crop this tighter. Crop, save. We'll go back here. File, object, place. Place. Oh, sorry. Fitting, object fit. There he is. See? Now we have pretty much the whole layout. Now, if I wanted to get fancy, I could put that picture in here and have the story fill 3 columns. And here's room for our headline. Now, again, remember white space? We don't need anything. You might want to put a credit, photos by blah, 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 or a caption or some print in here, but you don't really need anything there. That wide space puts you into the rest of it, you know, magazine style layout. Remember, you don't have to cram everything in. I might put in, you know, I might put in a big caption or a little bit of a graphic or something, but you don't need it. But essentially, here's the layout. And yeah, I might cheat a little bit, make this a little smaller. So our pictures aren't all the same size. Because I like having that fairly big. Yeah, pulling that in just a little bit Doesn't hurt anything. Using this to line up. That way all our pictures aren't exactly the same size. Pulling that in a little bit. We have that, we have that. Can put a big caption in here. And that's the layout. Tells the story. Here's what we can do. And, or, yeah, pretty much. So that's how you do a layout. You start with your dominant art and your story, and you move things around. Now, in real life, what a lot of people do is sketch, is take a look at all your pictures and make a rough sketch of what you want to do. And that's fine. And then we can write in, and I will ask you to do this. Here's a headline. What is? No, wrong kind of box. Headline should have a subject and a verb. So I will make a headline here. Okay. Make that a little bigger. Two, 30. There it goes. See, we have a one grid between the headline and the headline needs to go with the story. Blah, blah here. Caption, caption. There you go. And that's how a bill becomes a law. So that's it'll be a little easier for you. Story's not quite as long, should lay itself out. And that's just it. Eventually, they lay themselves out. So pretty good page. But the big thing to notice is how I use my columns to line up my elements, and how I use my grids to keep the spaces even. That's half the lesson here, to make it neat, using your columns and your grids to line everything up on the page. So, ta-da. It's now up to you to, it's now up to you. So anyway, this is not an easy thing. You can see all it is file, place, and fit on InDesign. I'm not doing anything fancy here. But if you want to do more, you can. But yeah, nothing fancy here. A lot of people sketch this out first. I wanted just to give you the basics. And the rest is up to you. Questions?
Do you think we need captions on our photos and story, or?
You can write one caption, which is what I might do here. One big caption, top left, top, no, clockwise from left, and write one caption for all of
Okay.
them. But yes, you do need captions to explain what the thing is.
Okay, thank you.
That's probably what I would do here.
And we're just using the information you gave us on.
Right, on the prompt, right. Oh,
Okay.
one other thing here. File, to save this in this program, you export as a PDF. You don't just save as PDF. Example, export, format PDF.
So you want the final product in a PDF, correct?
Final product PDF. I know this is a lot at once. So, I mean, I don't, especially if you don't have access to the, InDesign. So, yeah. So I get it. So, I mean, I'm not expecting perfection, but I like the big thing is, again, dominant art, verticals, horizontals, different sizes. It's a good layout. Anyway, that's how a bill becomes a law. Okay. Well, if you have questions, let me know. You have, again, it'll be a little easier with your stuff because these are a little simpler. It should be pretty much lay itself out. Hint, hint. Pretty much most people end up doing something very similar. Anyway, that's how we do it. I appreciate your presence, those who are here, those who aren't, good luck with it. And if you're struggling with this, we may take a little extra time. We're being flexible here. All right, anything else? All right, you have 3 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.